Good morning. Would you please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Would you please remain standing for a moment of silence? Thank you. Please be seated. And now for your Shea TV news.
Good morning, Scorpions. It is Thursday, March 28th, and you're watching Shea TV. Canned Food Drive. Students, be sure to bring in your canned goods all this week through April 6th. The class that brings in the most cans wins a pizza party. So remember to bring good, yummy things that you would want to eat. All right, so let's see whose class can bring in the most for this important food drive. 7th and 8th graders, do you have a formal event coming up? And do you need something special to wear? Well, we have a very special event called Dresses and Ties for Girls and Guys. It's a free formal wear event, and it's here. The boutique days are this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and April 2nd from 5 to 7. So all you need to do is go down to the school, the Paradise Valley School District Office, which is about 32nd Street in Greenway. Bring your student ID and come pick out your new outfit. If you need more information, we have flyers in the library right by where you check out books. Clubs. Today's after school club is sign language. Yearbooks. Yearbooks are on sale now. Be sure to order one for just $20 by visiting the Shea Middle School website and clicking on the yearbook link. Sports. Boys wrestling will be starting on Monday, April 1st. All interested students should see Mr. Swigart or the front office for permission slips. Attention all 8th graders. For those of you wanting to be in a part of the Spirit program, that's for both guys and girls that have any interest or experience in pom, dance, cheer, sing, and stunts. There's a mandatory student parent meeting tonight, March 28th at 5:30 at Shadow Mountain in the cafeteria. You can contact Coach Carrie from next door or visit us in the library and pick up a flyer right by where you check out books for more information about tumbling, cheer, and spirit. Students, this week we will continue to revisit the STING traits. So teachers, there's a video link included that'll be shown. It'll just be continuous. It's right at the end of Shea TV along with our group discussion questions. So a good idea is I've got the video questions typed right at the beginning. So you can just review the video, pause it there, and you can pause it on each question as you go through the questions with your classes. So that works out a little bit easier than reading it off the paper, and that way the kids can look at it and review it. So that's just worked out a little bit easier. Okay, last up, we've got our lunch choices. So we have a ribicue sandwich, nacho bites, and a sandwich pack. Again, the TED Talk is coming up today, and it is a little bit long. It's about 12 minutes. So remember, there's no traveling during I&E as you watch that TED Talk, and then have the group discussion led by your teacher afterwards. That's it for today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Make it a great one, Shea.
When I was 12 years old, my mother purchased a computer for me thinking that I was going to play games on it. When she gave it to me, she didn't understand what I was going to do with it, and I started coding right away. And it's because of my mom and the gift that she gave me that allowed me to basically explore technology, programming, circuit boards. And it was from that point on, after programming and hanging out with like-minded individuals, that allowed me to explore my interest even more, that I got my first job when I was just under 20 years old with a tech firm. And I thought, this is it. My career is going to be in tech. And for the past 26 years professionally, I've dedicated my life to information technology. And I've always said it's fun. But it was 4 years ago at my daughter's school where the principal talked to me about why kids get in trouble using technology that my life turned around. And what I did was I spoke to the kids at my daughter's school about being safe online. And I also had a conversation with the principal about speaking to the parents, because I've always said to kids, and for those at St. Mary remember this, I don't blame any of you guys for getting in trouble online. I always put the responsibility on parents who's, they put the technology in your hand and they're supposed to guide you. I mean, that's our responsibility. I said, so please, let me reach out to these parents along with the kids. And he did. One thing led to another, and you just heard the stats in terms of how many kids I've spoken to, over 25,000 parents, over 1,200 principals, twice at the Ontario Provincial Police, twice at the Department of National Defence. And what I found out 4.5 years ago as I started speaking is that this is the most rewarding time of my life, education, and giving knowledge back. What my mother gave me, I'm now able to give to you. And I've always followed in the footsteps of a mom who at the time was a single mom because my parents had split up. And she gave me all the values to move forward in life. And every day that I do something, I always think about, am I going to make my mom proud? Because she gave me the opportunity to where I am today. So having said that, at a young age, you have a ton of accountability and responsibility. The responsibility is yours. The accountability is to your parents. I speak to principals all the time where I hear stories of kids coming into the office who have participated in cyberbullying and have said, that was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. It was an accident. And I look at the principals and I say, those are pathetic excuses. Because there's no such thing as accidental cyberbullying or it was a mistake. I can give you a very simple example of how cyberbullying occurs. Number one, you have to type in or take a picture to do the hurt, to initiate the pain. That's an action item. So if I make an inappropriate comment, I've typed that out. Then I have to actually transmit it. Meaning I post it or I send it from one device to another device so the person sees it. Two action items don't equal a mistake or an accident. They equal intent, meaning it was intentional. I met a father who said to me, I don't know what my son was thinking when he made that comment. And I looked at him and said, I know what he was thinking. He was thinking about hurting someone because he had to think about it before he typed it and then transmit it. So I want to put excuses aside and I want everyone to step up. You are empowered with technology. That's how privileged you are because you live in the greatest country in the world where your parents have worked so hard to empower you with that technology. Be respectful because they own it. You know, before I came over here today, I stopped off at a mobility store and I walked in and I said, my daughter wants to buy a phone. I want to give it to her. And I asked the lady, how old does she need to be? She says 18. I said, no, I want her to come in. I want her to pay. She says she has to be 18. So students, if I asked you how many of you own your phones, the majority of you will put up your hands. The reality is you don't. Your parents own those devices. You see what happened was when you purchased the phone was that your parents made the financial transaction. Number two, they signed the contract with the telephone company because you can't because you're not an adult. Number three, they pay the monthly bill. Now you may have earned your money to pay for the phone, which I think is responsible, and you might actually give them the money every month to pay for the bill. But it's their name that is on the contract and makes the financial transactions all the time. If a principal confiscates a phone, hands it over to a police officer, and that police officer investigates it, your name doesn't come up. Your parents' name comes up. So I always tell kids, you love, care, and respect your parents. Think about how you use these technologies when you go online, because every time you go online, you leave digital trails of all your actions. Now, some people say digital trails, digital footprints are the same thing. I actually break them down into two. Let's talk about digital trails. Let me give you some examples. Sending a text message. The sending device, the receiving device, the servers in between. If I send a text message that is hateful, threatening, bullying, or racist, I can delete the message off my device, not to get in trouble. But the person who received it now has a copy on their device. If they report it to law enforcement and they investigate it, they can contact my phone company, their phone company, and get information as to when I sent the message and when that message was received. When you go online and you send an email, emails leave so many digital trails, it's unimaginable how many servers they hit before they actually hit the recipient's device. Let's say, I want to use your teachers as an example. Let's say your teachers come to school and they give you a test. And then they sit behind their computer and they decide they're going to email 25 friends and family about a big party they're having on the weekend. Well, that's a mistake. Because the school board will know when they send the email, at what time, from what computer, to whom, what was the context of that email. And if that computer was in class where the teacher's supposed to be teaching and they sent it from that computer, the school board will know. What about if your principals come to school and they decide to surf the web and they decide, I need to do some shopping. I'm a principal, I can't leave, but I need to go online and do some shopping. So they spend an hour at walmart.ca to do some shopping. After an hour, they come out of the office with a big smile on their face because they're getting the order shipped to their home, and they'll think, well, no one will know. Well, they're mistaken because the school board will know when they went online, how long they were online, and when they left. These are trails of their actions. Every time you post something on BlackBerry Messenger, Kik, Facebook, Twitter, every example up there leaves a trail. You know that Ask website where you thought it was anonymous? Well, for those at St. Mary, I busted that myth. I showed them exactly where Ask FM servers reside, and now how law enforcement have access to your IP addresses, the context of what was sent, received, and posted. I know you guys use this thing called yik something, yik yak. I'm making fun. You know what? Most people think, well, no one will know. That's completely anonymous. Look at the legal section within yik yak. You know what you will find? You will find how they will relinquish information to law enforcement with a simple subpoena. None of these trails disappear, and they lead to your digital footprints. Let me give you examples of digital footprints. What you write to your hard drive is now physically written. What you write to a memory card, a flash drive, your smartphone. If you're a console gamer, a lot of them have hard drives, it will write information to the hard drive. Cloud storage. People think the cloud, it's virtual, it's out there. The cloud is a physical hard drive, except it gives you easy access to what you posted up on the web. But it's physically written somewhere on a hard drive, so go back to point number one, it's written there. And of course your footprints stamped every time you visit a social networking site. Why? Because it's posted. So now let's talk about digital trails and footprints. You transmit something from your smartphone to Facebook. You left a trail and you've left a footprint. You transmit something from your computer to cloud storage. You've got the stamp, the footprint on your computer. You've got the trail to the cloud storage. You've got another footprint on cloud storage. Handheld device to Instagram. You post a simple comment, you like a picture. You've left a trail of what is permanently online in a digital footprint. And we can go through example after example after example. But I'm here to tell you, you leave both trails and footprints every time you go online. Now, when your teachers and I were growing up, we had a saying, a picture's worth 1,000 words. But that was all up to interpretation. So if we put the same picture in front of 10 people, their 1,000 words would all be different. Now a picture is a book, a digital book. So what you look at visually, when I look at it as a programmer, as a coder, I look at it digitally, meaning time, day, location, aperture setting, lighting settings, all kinds of information is written to a picture. So that picture is of me, believe it or not, and I'm in Banff, but I'm at a hill called Sunshine. Now the only way you will know by looking at that picture that I'm at Sunshine is by looking at the map behind me. If you look closely enough, because I analyzed the picture, you can see in the reflection of my visor the chairlift that's off to the side, and the chairlift has a name. And if you Google that name, you would see Sunshine. But what happens if you couldn't see the chairlift or you couldn't see the map? Well, analyzing the picture using binary code, because binary code is what makes up pictures, zeros and ones, you would analyze the time, day, location of where the picture was taken, which is precise. Because I remember sending that picture over to my wife and they were able to decode it. So these trails are real. You know how sophisticated pictures are? You know the bad people on this earth that want to bring harm to all different countries, I won't use their word and give them acknowledgement? They send messages within images, within JPEGs. Because an image is made up of zeros and ones, binary code, they actually embed messages in certain components of the pictures. And when the picture is received, that person that is intended to receive the picture is now decoding it, and they're looking at what the message is. And law enforcement have to go through pictures. So think about that from the national security level angle, and then think about it when they're investigating a picture that was transmitted from one device to another in case it was an inappropriate picture. I let Google track me. Give you one more example about digital trails. I was in Calgary for 2 weeks, and one day I decided I'm going to let Google track me. So here's what I did. I had Google follow me from the moment I woke up in my hotel to every school I went to. I went to 2 schools that day. So I left my hotel, I went to school A. After school A, I went to Starbucks. After Starbucks, I went to school B. After school B, before I went and spoke to the parents of both schools together, I went back to the hotel. I took a nap. After that, I had a light bite. I went back to the school. And then after that, I was invited to a function, which was on the west end of Calgary. After that, I went back to the hotel. It tracked everywhere I was going precisely. So to just finalize it, the trails don't lie. So listen, when it comes to cyberbullying, students, I've always said, it's not a matter of if you're going to get caught, it's a matter of how and when you will get caught. But today I'm not going to lecture you on cyberbullying because you love, care, and respect each other, and that's obviously the best reason why you wouldn't hurt another person. If you happen to go home this weekend and bully another person online, digitally, from your home, on your computer, in your bedroom, the next day when your principals are investigating what happened, they actually have to address the bully because 2 students are involved. Now principals have 3 options. Number 1, give the bully a warning. Number 2, suspend the bully from school. Number 3, call in the police. If your principal has to call in the police, well, a suspension can still be issued, but now the police don't care about that. You see, they care about criminal law. And they want to see if what you did violated criminal law. And you all know, everyone in this room, you're not a kid anymore. You're now a young offender. And so these charges can be laid against you. The day after you turn 12 years old, it's called 12 years plus a day, you're criminally chargeable by law. But like I said earlier, you don't have to worry about that because you love, care, and respect each other. I just need you to know that in the back of your head. So what happens if you get cyberbullied? I've always told kids every day, don't ever respond to a bully. I know it's an emotional piece. Move away from it. What I need you to do is I need you to print out every picture, post, comment, chat session, screenshot. Get all of that evidence together and bring it to an adult, someone you trust. Show them what has hurt you. Let the adult in your life, whether it be a teacher, a principal, a guidance counselor, your parents, a police officer, show it to them, let them deal with it. We, the adults, that's our ethical and moral duty in life, is to help guide and protect you. Bring it to us, say, I need help, and let us deal with it. Let the bullies get caught. Let them get dealt with. They've left trails behind. But I need you to speak out. And finally, when you leave school, you're going to leave with two things guaranteed to you, students: an education and a reputation. You've spent every year of your life earning an education. You've also built up a reputation, social media. What happens when you go looking for a job? You're going to submit a resume. A resume is going to have your first name, last name, your address, your email address, your phone number, where you went to school, what jobs you had. When an employer looks that up, they have the ability to look you up online and now judge you based on your online activity. Those negative digital trails can supersede your education, so you could be the best qualified for the job. But if the trails say you post inappropriate pictures, you disrespect people, you do something that just goes against what they like as a candidate, they take both documents, they put them together, they rip them up. You know that's a violation of your human rights, right? You know what the problem is? No one's ever going to know what happened. Why? Because it's happening online. So please, when you go online, I want you to do something. I want you to think, your parents, whether they're here or not, and always think, am I going to make them proud? If you have that voice in the back of your head, when you use the technology that they gave you, you will always, always make the right decisions. Thank you very much for listening.